on our group page. It really hits the mark. No pun intended. It was written by Mark Durson. Hits the mark on what we are going through today in our pandemic. So find a nice seat, get yourself ready for yoga. Feel free to sit on a pillow or a blanket, fold it up a little bit. That helps to maybe relax through the legs, the hips, also helps to lengthen the spine. And just slow your breath, deepen your breath. And it's definitely time to start. Feel free to leave me a message. I will see that it comes in if you need to say something. And I'll have to go up close and personal and see what it says. But if not, just leave me a message after class and how you think you did. You can also private message me if you don't want to leave it in the group class, but feel free to leave it in the group messages as well. So let's just bring ourselves to our center. Slowing the breath, following the breath. Feel free to close your eyes. Deepening the breath. Each time we breathe in, it's a little deeper than the last breath. Allowing the ribs to expand, allowing a little more length in the spine. Let's keep our shoulders back and down. Lift our heart, lift the chin a little. And see if you can send the breath to any parts of the physical body that feel a little tight or a lot tight at this moment. See if you can visually see those muscles, see that area of your body relaxing, releasing. And doing that a few times. Each breath a little deeper, a little slower than the last, and this time sending it to specific areas of the physical body. And then let's do the same thing with the breath, this time sending it to our thoughts, sending to our tight thoughts, thoughts that we're holding on to that we really don't need to be holding on to, maybe thoughts that are causing us a little more stress than we actually need to do to ourselves, right? Sending the breath to our thoughts. And as we exhale, releasing whatever worry that is, whatever anxiety we're feeling, just controlling that by letting it go, using our breath to soften it. And finding a deeper connection within ourselves and a deeper connection with the universe and with your higher power, whatever that may be. Perhaps it is the universe. Go ahead and send your worries and your anxieties to that higher power. And in return, take your courage, your relaxation, your trust, your hope, your faith. We are supposed to be, and it's all going to work out. Trusting in yourself, trusting in your higher power. I'm going to do a reading from The Language of Letting Go, Melody Beatty. Opening ourselves to love. Open ourselves to the love that is available to us. We do not have to limit our sources of love. God and the universe have an unlimited supply of what we need, including love. When we are open to receiving love, we will begin to receive it. It may come from the most surprising places, including from within ourselves. We will be open to and aware of the love that is and has been there for us all along. We will feel and appreciate the love from friends. We will notice and enjoy the love that comes to us from family. We will be ready to receive love in our special love relationships too. There's plenty of good love available. Love that heals our heart, meets our needs, and makes our spirits sing. Today, I will open myself to love that is coming to me from the universe. I will accept it and enjoy it when it comes. And so let's roll our shoulders. And really just letting them release as we roll the shoulders. We're still staying nice and strong, long spine. Let's pull up through the pelvic floor. Let's cinch in that waist a little just to stay strong. That supports our lower back as well as the rest of the torso. And then let's hold our hands here on our thighs. We'll take our shoulders up, hunching right up to the ears, and then press our shoulders back and down and lift the heart at the same time, as well as the chin. Lifting our shoulders up and pressing back. Lifting up, pressing back. Good. Hunch those shoulders up, press back and down. Get a nice long neck here. Let's do that a couple more times. And then the idea when we're holding our core in and when we're pulling in up through the pelvic floor is to do it in a gentle way where we're not tightening, but we're staying strong. And doing that as we move through our flows and through our poses. Good, let's lower our shoulders down. We're going to reach our hands forward. Palms facing each other. And then moving our shoulders back, right? Keeping the spine still. And then moving our shoulders forward. We're not really changing the position of the hands. They stay same distance apart. Roll the shoulders back. They naturally should go down. Roll the shoulders forward. They come up a little bit, so don't force it one way or the other. Let's roll the shoulders back. I'm going to show you from the side. Shoulders back, shoulders forward. Shoulders back, do the best you can. Shoulders forward. Sometimes we lose the mobility in our shoulders, and that's exactly why we're doing this. Forward and back. Let's hold them back. Check in on your core. Check in on your breathing and your smiling, right? And then bringing our arms up. Keep the shoulders back. Try to keep the shoulders back. Reach the arms up. Good. Keep the shoulders back. So it's now sort of a counter move, right? As we bring our arms forward, we're still pressing our shoulders back and down, right? So it's not this. There's no movement in the spine. And that's why we're going slow. So we can really pay attention to everything that's going on here. Lifting up, lifting back. Keep pressing those shoulders back and down. Nice long neck. Let's do that 2 more times. Use the breath, use the smile, use the core. And then holding here. Remember, if the shoulders get tired, you can always take a little breather. Sometimes that's all you need is to just relax them for a breath or 2 and then rejoin us. So now we're back here. We're taking our arms wide, reaching out to the side, and then check back in on the torso, on the breath. Reach through the crown of the head. We're going to take our arms back a little further without letting the chin fall forward, right? So you go to where you can. These are your shoulders. Some of us have a lot of tightness, some more than others. Yoga is a very personal thing. We're going to bring our arms back forward. Good. Shoulders stay back here. So you may want to adjust, keep the shoulders down, nice long neck, reaching out to the side. Reach, lengthen through not just the spine, but in the opposite direction or, right, so horizontally now, right through our fingertips. Our shoulders are getting wider, upper back. And then bringing our arms forward. This time we're going to take our right arm on top, left on top, and hold here. And then see if you can arrange so that you can maybe walk your hands back a little bit. Give yourself a little pat on the back. Say, I love you. You can say it out loud. You can scream it out loud. Say it to yourself. Say it to your spouse. Say it to me. I love you guys. Little hugs. And then reaching. Let's take our arms wide. Reaching through the crown of the head, reaching through the fingertips. And now the left arm goes on top. And then readjust, right? Try to walk your hands back further. Give yourself a pat on the back. So this hug is really, we'll take ourselves side to side here, to give yourself a stretch through the upper back. Okay, could be subtle, could be deep, depending on what you need. And then come back. But it's also to say I love you. So don't misconstrue what I just said. We're reaching our arms wide here. And then take our shoulders back. We're going to do a little pulse here. Back, not too far. Little tiny pulses. Keep going. So, right? So it's not back and forth. It's more back. 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 Let's do 2 more. Keep the chin lifted. And then bring it forward and lower down. Good. Bringing our arms up, this time palms facing forward. And then like angel wings, bringing the arms down, palms facing forward. Angel wings coming up. Now maybe we can only go this far with straight arms, so we're going to bend, bring our fingertips together, right? And then out and down. When I brought my fingertips together overhead, they completely missed each other. So, I wonder if this is one of those tests they do when you're pulled over for DUI. They should. Angel arms. Try to touch your fingertips together. That time I did it. The idea here, again, is the shoulders, right? Keeping the shoulders back and down. Reach through the crown of the head. When your arms come overhead, our shoulders still stay down. Good. Big time work here. Doesn't look it, but it is. Keep breathing. Keep smiling. All that. Keep the core engaged. Really, those 3 rules help us do everything. Let's release. Let's take our hands here. We're going to take our chin to chest. Go ahead and just let your head hang. Keep breathing. If the chin comes all the way to the chest, that's great. If you want to take a little further down, we're keeping the rest of the spine straight and long. It's just stretching here, but you may feel a nice stretch that goes right down both sides of the spine or the neck, right? It may go further depending on if you have that tightness there. And then let's come on up. Readjust, shoulders, hips. If you need to, let's take our chin to the side, head to the side. We're going to just dip the chin and bring it up. Okay, these are all beautiful neck stretches, but it's your neck, so be very respectful of your own neck. And then let's go ahead and lift and take it back to the other side, always checking in on those 3 points of reference. General reference of the core, the breath, and the smile. And the smile, remember, big smile if you want, laugh if you want, but it's really about relaxing the facial muscles. No, I shouldn't say that. It's about smiling. It's about smiling, sending that message to the brain to be happy. Okay, good. Nice job. Let's remove, if you have a blanket, go ahead and remove that. We're going to lengthen our legs out. Shake it out. And point and flex. It's a beautiful day today. Sunny. Hopefully the sun is going to help our grass to grow. Unless, of course, we're in another state and that's not an issue right now. All right, so our legs are long. Spiral them together, so maybe making more of an effort to squeeze them together and feeling those muscles work. And we're going to walk forward. The whole leg moves and hip moves when we walk forward. Check in on the core and let's walk back. Now this is a low back exercise. So it can be subtle, it can be deep, but very important to keep that belt. It's the transverse abdominis right around your lower, right around your hips, I should say. Keeping that strong as we walk back. And then walking forward. You can bend that knee, you can bring that hip forward, you can rock side to side, or it can be smaller, a smaller move. Check in on the core. Let's go one more time back. And then taking yourself to the middle of the mat, shaking our legs out. We're going to cross our right ankle over and just release through the hip. Taking our hands behind and sliding our leg back. So this is a version of the pigeon, right? Lengthen once we get here. We don't want to be hanging into our shoulders. So once we get here, lengthen. And if you can only go so far, you can always adjust this front foot out a little and then get a little more length. Find the sit bones. Breathe. There's so much going on here. So many of our poses look so simple, but there's so much that can be going on here, right? Stretch and strengthening as well as balance. Let's be strong through the core so we're not putting too much weight into our wrists, into our hands. You can also press into the fingers. And then let's go ahead and lengthen our legs, shake them out. We'll take the left leg across. Hold, just releasing. No rush, no hurry, taking our time here. We'll take our hands behind and slide our right leg back. And once again, you adjust. but we do want that length. We do want to find our sit bones. Lifting the heart, shoulders back away from the ears, nice long neck, chin may be lifted, and breathe. Breathe into any areas of your physical body. Breathe into your thoughts, and then release. All right. So those negative thoughts, don't let them come in. Or if they do come in, acknowledge them and let them go, right? So they're not doing us any justice. So now, shaking our legs out, finding our sit bones. So you may just rock side to side. If it's hard to stay nice and tall here, right? Because I do want you to sort of shift the pelvis so you're sitting on the sit bones. And if it's hard on the hip flexors, go ahead and bend the knees, right? So you can hold here. So I'd rather have you have bent knees than have a bent or curled torso. So, and we all have tightness in different areas, so it's different for everyone. So, and even though my legs are straight, my knees are soft. I don't want pressure to go on the back of my knees. Good, holding here. Let's take the left arm up and over, and again, a counter stretch here. As we reach up and over with this left shoulder back, we're pressing that left sit bone, left hip down. Let's feel like we can lengthen both sides of the waist, both sides of the spine, and then the other side. The spine doesn't really have sides, does it? But when we're taking ourselves to one side like this, I mean the right and left of the spine. But also we really do want to lengthen all sides of the spine, all the way around. So now here, same thing, press through the right hip as we lift up. Make sure the shoulder's back. You can lift the chin, you can look down, you can look up. Keep lengthening both sides of the waist. Bring our hands here. Let's take both arms up. Curling forward. So you can flatten down. You can pull the belly back and scoop back, or you can go somewhere in between. Just bring the shoulders back away from the ears and relax over our legs. Check in on the 3 points of reference. You know what they are. They're keeping the core engaged gently. They're breathing gently and deeply and smiling. And then slowly curling up. Good. We'll take the left leg out to the side and bring the right leg in. So finding our sit bones again. This time I do want you to keep those sit bones down equally and roll forward. Just till you feel a gentle stretch somewhere. Maybe it's in this left leg. Please keep the left leg active, toes coming back towards you, and the knees and toes facing the ceiling or the sky if you're outside. Hopefully you're outside. Not if you're in Connecticut, I don't think. And then walking our hands up. Let's turn towards this bent knee, bringing our left hand here, open up and bring ourselves over. Again, keeping the sit bones down, keeping the left knee unlocked. Open up both sides of the body. Perhaps looking up. Adjust if you're feeling discomfort in the neck. Sending breath wherever you need to. Let's come back here. As we move from one part of the pose to the other, we're using our core a little stronger, right? So we're keeping our core engaged and just a little stronger as we move from pose to pose or from one part of the pose to the other. So we're going to take our right leg out, left leg in. Maybe your left foot is here, right? It's your legs. These are your legs. So do what you can. And then make sure the right leg is active. My right leg wants to just hang out here. So I want it to be active. I want my knee to be soft. Lengthen first. We're pressing through both sit bones and then pull the belly in as we roll forward, stopping when you feel a gentle stretch somewhere, maybe in the leg, hamstring, maybe in the hips, maybe the back, and then readjust. If one of the hips wanted to lift up, go ahead and press it back down. And then see if we can release over. Use our hands to support us. Use our core to support us. Relax through the neck. If the shoulders are hunching up a little, just press them back and down and breathe slowly and deeply. And let's stack the vertebrae back, coming nice and tall, turning towards our left knee, right hand here, and then reach up and over, lengthening both sides. Feel free to engage the core however it feels right for you, either cinching in the laces of that corset or zipping up or pulling up through the pelvic floor. Pulling the belly in and up. Coming back to the center, shaking. Help your legs come back to the center, right? So sometimes we need to do that. We just spent a good amount of time stretching the whole body. We're going to take ourselves back up. We're going to do a forward fold here and release down and see how this forward fold feels. It's the second one. Relax through the neck and the shoulders. Just breathe. We're going to get 3 deep breaths here. And when you're ready, go ahead and work yourself back up to seated. Good. Let's swing our legs around. We'll take ourselves to all fours. Taking cats and cows and really working through the cat and cow. Nice and slow, visualizing the vertebrae, moving each one individually and all of them as a whole together. When we move, creating space between the vertebrae. Stretching the muscles along the spine. And each time, check into the shoulders to make sure they're not hunching. When we get to the deepest part of our cat and the deepest part of our cow, make sure the shoulders aren't coming up, right? So again, working deeply with the shoulders, using our breath, using our core a little stronger as we move from one pose to the other. And then let's hold here in a neutral spine. We'll bring ourselves to our forearms and continuing with our cat and cow here. Curling and arching. So allowing the spine to work independently of the shoulders here. If we are on our forearms, the shoulders can't participate as much. So it's a little different feelings. Maybe we're feeling the stretch in a different way. Doing the best you can, bringing the tailbone down to the mat as we let the head drop. Bringing the tailbone up as we bring and lengthen the neck. Bring the heart forward perhaps. curling and arching. So we're coming now back to all fours. And then what I'd like us to do is, if you want, because we're going to just be on our knees for a little bit in a camel position, but not really the camel pose. So folding back and getting that extra cushion if you need to. Then holding here, opening up, and then bring it down. Good. Let's reach up. Hands to heart center. Bringing ourselves back up. Stay strong through the core and then down. Good. We'll do that again. Reaching, gathering all that beautiful, positive energy, bringing it to our heart center. And then pressing our hands together as we reach up and bring our arms down. Shoulders go back and down with our arms. Good. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Good. Rolling our shoulders back and down. So we're going to take ourselves here. We're going to take our hand down, lining right up with our right leg. And so when we do that, our left leg can come out to the side. And we want everything to be in a straight line. We don't want to be leaning forward. Pull the belly in tight and open up here. Breathe. So now the left foot can be as flat as possible. Again, don't force anything, but pressing the toes forward towards the front of the room. And now let's pull the belly in tight. If you need to use your hands to come up, we're going to pull the belly in and come up and lengthen. Wow, beautiful. Inhale and exhale. Good. Let's take our left hand here. Not a lot of weight there, but just for support. Reach our right up and let's take ourselves over to the side. So really our center of gravity is through the right leg. We're lengthening the body. Open up. Bring the right arm back. Again, take care of the neck. Stretching the side body. Pulling up both sides if you can. Always breathing. Pull the belly in. And what we're doing is bringing our hand down. Pull the belly in a little bit more. Come to all fours. Slide that left leg back. And let's come back up. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Left hand here. Right leg comes out. Bring the toes towards you. Towards the front of the room. And then pull the belly in, coming on up. Good. Reaching, lengthening, holding, bringing our hands down. And then reach up and over. So our right hand is just resting on our leg. And reach up and over. Honoring whatever you're feeling here. Never getting frustrated if it feels too much. Just make an observation and do what's right for your body. Pull the belly in. This time, we're going to bring ourselves back down to the floor. Strong, strong core to do this. And then reach up, open up, perhaps looking up. Stretch. As if we're getting wider through the back of the shoulders, the upper back. Getting wider and flatter, opening, breathing. Pull the belly in. Let's come down to all fours. All right. Let's go ahead and flatten our mat out. We're taking ourselves to our down dog. And playing around in your down dog if you'd like, or take yourself right to mountain pose and we will be there shortly. So down dog, if you'd like, get as much of a V as you can. Tilt the pelvis, a little higher if you can. So in other words, we don't want a rounded back here. We want almost an arch in the back. Stretching through the hamstrings. If your heels don't come down to the floor, that's fine. Letting your head rest between your arms. Stay strong through the corset. I would like you to lace that corset. And then bending the knees, look towards the front of the mat, and let's walk towards the front of the mat, and then holding in our forward fold, melting over our legs. Let the head and neck relax. Keep breathing, keep pressing into our roots. And then rolling up the Pilates way, stacking the vertebrae in back and zipping the belly in front. Rolling the shoulders back and down, finding our mountain. Feel free to adjust your feet, pressing into all four corners of the feet. So that would be both sides of the ball of the foot, both sides of the heel of the foot. Toes are down but relaxed. You may want to wiggle them every now and then. Pulling up through the arches, pulling energy from the earth right through the bottoms of your feet, all the way through your whole body and right through the crown of the head. Strong mountains as we root into the earth. We rise up to meet the universe, to meet the sky. Mountain pose connects the earth and the sky, the earth and the universe, with our physical and emotional bodies. Now let's close our eyes. If you want to keep your eyes open and focus on a drishti, that's fine. If you like to close your eyes, just know that there will be more movement. And just observe that movement. And so one more point of reference when we're standing. We want our legs to be straight, but we want our knees to be soft. And so opening our eyes, palms facing the front of the room, and let's take those angel wings, bringing our arms up and over, fingertips together, and then up and down. We'll do that one more time, keeping the shoulders back and down, keeping strong in our mountain pose, and just moving our arms here, our wings, our angel wings, rolling our shoulders back, staying nice and tall. And so today we're going to do some balance poses. We'll start with just bringing our right knee up. So we're going to press through our left roots. And when you're ready, lifting the right knee and maybe holding around the shin. Let's try to straighten out this leg. Sometimes our right foot wants to come in and almost becomes more of a tree pose, and actually it's harder to balance this way. So if you just stay in line, shoulders, knees, ankle, foot, and try to lengthen up, shoulders back, breathe. And let's go ahead and lower down, press through the right foot, lift the left. Focus on a drishti, so that's way ahead or way ahead on the floor. Try to relax through the shoulders. Check in on your points of reference. Point of reference two through the bottom of that right foot that is keeping you balanced. If you need to adjust anything, it's through the foot. And then let's lower down. Good. Let's rock forward and back. And so this time when we do our knee up pose, we're going to hold for 3 breaths And then we'll take it to a tree pose, wherever that is for you, for 3 breaths. So we'll start with the same side first. Let's press through both sets of roots first. And then a little more pressure through the left roots as we lift that right knee forward. And you can hold underneath the hamstring too, if coming forward and holding here makes you curl too much, right? So holding here or holding here. But let's try to not sink into it, right? Get strong and tall. 3 breaths, slow and deep. And then when you're ready, taking it to tree pose, perhaps here, here, or here, right? You can keep your kickstand on the heel above the left ankle. Once in your tree pose, let's go ahead and move our arms, perhaps goddess arms, bringing the fingers, turning the pinky finger in. Goddesses in every person, females and males. And then when you're ready, coming out of it, and it's okay if you had to come out of your tree or your knee up a number of times, right? The idea is to really get the legs and the muscles working, the balance muscles. So when you're ready, press through the right. Let's lift the left. 3 breaths, focusing on the breath. And then when you're ready for tree pose on this side, and maybe we do something different. Maybe we want to just release through our wrists. Maybe we want to take that goddess pose again. We can also call these goalpost arms or cactus arms. We can be as feminine or masculine as we like. And after 3 breaths, go ahead and take it down. If you felt any of those muscles working and fatiguing, you're doing it right. We're getting stronger and stronger. Go ahead and roll forward and back. Okay, so I'd like us to do one more knee up to the front. Pull the belly in, lifting, holding. Let's flex this foot. So, right, instead of letting it sort of hang there, we're going to flex the ankle, toes coming towards the front of the room. And then we're going to look to the right. And then we're going to look slowly to the left. Keep pressing through the bottom of the left foot. Coming back to the center. Holding, breathing. Lower down. Let's press our roots deep and wide. And then lifting the left leg. And when you're ready, looking a little to the left, nice and slow. Stay strong. And then coming through center to the right. And coming back to the center and lower. Nice. Rolling forward and back. Let's bring our feet together. Heels and big toes together. And growing our roots deep and wide as we rise up. Lifting the chin, shoulders back. Mountain pose. Feel free to close your eyes for one more breath. And then opening your eyes, if you close them, we'll take our feet hip distance apart. So that's hip bones, knees, big toe. Okay? Let's take a sun salutation here. Use your core, use your breath. Good. Let's do two more on our own, and I'll meet you back in mountain pose. Bringing our hands to heart center. Pressing our hands together. Lifting up. Lifting behind. Keep the chin lifted. Lifting up. And hands to heart center. Bring our arms out to the side. Gathering that positive energy. Bringing our hands together. Hands to heart center. Then lifting up. Bringing our arms up and over. Big time stretch through the shoulders. Try to keep your chin lifted. If your hands don't go all the way back there, that's fine. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Keep pressing, keep the chin lifted. Inhale, up. Exhale, maybe the hands come here. Try to get the elbows wide. Inhale and exhale. Good. Keep pressing our hands together. We're going to take ourselves to a forward fold and then our hands to the mat. So pull the belly in tight, pressing down. As if we're trying to plant the fingers in the earth, and then hands here to the mat, stepping back to a plank, lengthening. Feel free to take your knees down here or to hold one more breath in the plank. Make sure the shoulders are going wide. Make sure the neck is nice and long. And then we'll all take ourselves down to our knees. Send our hips back for child's pose or puppy. And feel free to take the arms down along your side and find even more release in child's pose if you can, if that pose is right for you. And then coming to our seated position again. And then scooching forward on your mat so that you're sitting like this with your toes to the end of the mat. And then we're going to roll down. Taking your feet back closer to your hips, pressing into our bridge. Shoulders and feet taking the weight. Perhaps the elbows pressing a little. We want to make sure the weight is not going into our neck. So if you're feeling like too much weight is shifting into your head and neck, go ahead and press your shoulders a little bit more gently. Lifting the heart. Send the hips high, lengthen through the thighs. Keep breathing. Let's lower down. Pull the belly in. Let's lift one knee, lift the other, and then circle around. Circle in the other direction. Lowering our knees. So now we're going to cross our legs. I'll take myself back here so you can see. We're going to cross our legs, thighs together. And then arms out to the side. We'll bring the knees over to the right, just till you feel a stretch. We're keeping our shoulders on the floor. We're keeping our corset laced, and we're breathing deeply. pull the belly in to bring us to the other side. Keeping our shoulders down, feel free to adjust your feet or your legs. And breathe into wherever you feel that tightness that wants to release. Pull the belly in tighter to come back to the center. Uncrossing the legs, adjust the hips, and then crossing the left leg over the right. And let's bring both knees over to the left. Any adjustments that you need to make. Pull the belly in tighter to swing over to the other side. And pulling in tight, come back to the center. So bringing our knees and feet together and perhaps walking our feet back a little closer to our hips. We're going to bring our arms down along our side and then press into our bridge once again. So this time, I'd like you to keep your knees together, send the hips a little higher, keep your feet somewhat together if you can. Press into the shoulders gently, the arms, the hands, lift the heart, and check in onto the neck, sending energy right through the thighs, right through the knees, lift the hips, and then rolling from the top of the spine first, middle spine, lower spine, tailbone, and release down. Pull the belly in, let's hug our legs in and lift our head and shoulders. And as small as you can. So in our ball, shape of a ball here, try to get the shoulders away from your ears. Pull the belly in, even here, breathing deeply, even here. And then pull the belly in. Let's lengthen our right leg, lengthen our left, lower our head, holding here, arms out to the side, and just taking the head side to side. We're almost in Shavasana, but we're not there yet. I just want you to relax through the neck. And then coming center, even here, pull the belly in a little tighter as we bring our arms up overhead and getting a full body yawn. Reaching, lengthening, breathing. Inhale as we lengthen. Exhale as we lengthen. Inhale as we lengthen. Exhale as we lengthen. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, lengthen, and release. And now we are preparing for Shavasana. So if you'd like to get one more stretch, one of the stretches that I ran out of time for was to stretch the back of the legs here. So if you'd like to get that stretch, and just breathe into it a couple of times, or if you'd like to get a twist, preparing for Shavasana, but getting that last stretch or pose if you were really looking forward to that. Always honoring your yoga. Perhaps Shavasana you want to be on the blanket under your hips. Perhaps Shavasana means you're in a bridge pose. Maybe one leg is lengthened, one leg is bent. Maybe frog legs. Maybe you want to be on Shavasana on your side. Whatever way you're able to let go and just be, allow yourself to be held by the earth. The ultimate pose, Shavasana. Today, I will open myself to the love that is coming to me from the universe. I will accept it and enjoy it when it comes. And bringing your awareness back to the room, back to your breath. Breathing deeply and slowly. And taking that relaxation with you for the rest of your day. Just taking a moment throughout your day, several times, and just focusing on your breath. And if you'd like to stay in your Shavasana, you are welcome to do that. Or if you'd like to come to seated, come to seated. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace in our thoughts, peace in our words, peace in our heart. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time.